Let me share some insight into China, Hong Kong, freedom and the United Nations. As you know, China passed a new law last week in Beijing. It's called the Safeguarding National Security in Hong Kong law, and it tragically spells the end to the relative freedom and autonomy that's been the birthright of people in Hong Kong for a century and which has been the foundation of its prosperity. We've seen some brave souls continuing to protest in Hong Kong, literally placing their freedom on the line in order to try to save it. The residents of this former Hong Kong colony might decide to take flight, many of them, with Britain offering visas to millions, and Australia too looking at a special visa category. But what if they were looking to the United Nations for help? Well, have a look at this headline from the communist government-controlled China Daily. 53 United Nations members expressed support for the new Hong Kong Special Administrative Region security law. It refers to a meeting of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, and the story goes on to say, the statement on behalf of the 53 countries said the new legislation will provide a better guarantee for the idea of one country, two systems, benefit Hong Kong's long-term prosperity and stability, and ensure Hong Kong's people the exercise of legal rights and freedom in a safer environment. Now that, of course, is a load of hogwash. It'll only burden the people of Hong Kong under a dictatorial communist rule from Beijing. But it is true that there were 53 countries supporting this statement. Let's look at some additional facts for context here. The country given the honour of reading that statement was the communist dictatorship of Cuba. And one of those 53 countries was China itself. And here's a list of the other countries supporting China, the nations in China's orbit. They include North Korea, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Sierra Leone, Venezuela and Sudan, countries where freedom is an abstract concept rather than a lived reality. The list includes Palestine, which may or may not be a country, depending on who you ask. And it includes a host of countries dependent on China for financial support and where a proper and accountable democracy is completely unknown. More countries at the UN Human Rights Council supported China than condemned it, proving why the US was right to withdraw from this body 2 years ago. Most countries in the UN expressed no view at all, of course, preferring to sit out the tough issues. But 27 strong nations signed up to a statement criticising China. Now, whereas Cuba read the statement supporting China, it was the United Kingdom that read the statement criticising Beijing. And proudly at the top of the list supporting this statement was Australia, along with a host of European democracies, including Germany, France, Sweden, Switzerland, Ireland and Denmark, along with New Zealand, Canada and Japan. There's quite a difference, isn't there, between the sort of countries supporting China and those standing up for freedom, democracy and autonomy. This is why any UN vote, either in councils or in the General Assembly, treating each of these countries equally as one vote, is just a sad joke. 53 versus 27 was the UN Human Rights Council tally. But when it comes to freedom, democracy, prosperity and accountability, and when it comes to truth and reality, the 27 criticising China should win hands down every time.